everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So good to see you literally 5 minutes after the other video. But welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Point Nemo. I labeled this Conspiracy Theories and Sea Creatures, but we'll see how true that name really stands. This is another one of the writings in which I started researching and realized there isn't a whole lot of information. However, in this case, we are lucky that there's a significant amount of information on the ocean itself. So as we run out of things to talk about, we can talk about coral reefs, conservation, some interesting sea creatures, whatnot. What is Point Nemo? Point Nemo is the most isolated location on Earth. It is roughly 1,670 miles away from the nearest landmass. Point Nemo's exact coordinates are 48 degrees by 52.6 degrees south and 123 degrees by 23.6 degrees west. Forgive me if I said that wrong. I don't know how coordinates work. I mean, I do, but not in the South Pacific Ocean. Before there were more modern computing systems and GPS technology, cartographers couldn't pinpoint the middle of the ocean. In 1992, the man that did find it was Jorge Lucatella. Forgive me if I said that wrong as well. Who named the place after Nemo, the captain in Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Jacobs 2024. Sidebar: Nemo is derived from the Latin phrase Nemo est, which means there is no one. Nemo means nobody or no one and gives new meaning to Finding Nemo. Wiktionary Editors 2022. Turns out Dory wasn't the only crazy one in finding nobody. Point Nemo is located 1,670 miles from three land masses: North Ducie Island, a fragment of the Pitcairn Islands, northeast Motunui, just south of Easter Island and the westernmost point of Chile, and South Meyer Island near Sippel Island and part of Antarctica. Discovered by Operation High Jump in 1946-1947. Before it was officially designated Point Nemo, the Russian space program had its sights set on this part of the South Pacific for a while. They believed this remote spot of the world was perfect for disposing junk. Many decommissioned vessels have steered to their final resting place, abruptly dubbed the Spacecraft Cemetery. Jacobs 2024. Some more fun facts about Point Nemo. It is an area of deep ocean with no islands, reefs, or any other land structure. The floor of the ocean here contains abyssal plains, trenches, and mountain ranges sitting in darkness and silence as there are nearly no life forms. This makes me think of Subnautica. One time I was playing Subnautica and I swam out to the ecological dead zone. I believe that's what it's called in the game. And I put my pause screen on, but if you don't know, you can still die while the screen is paused. It doesn't make the other characters stop. It's just so you can see the settings and whatever. And one of the ghost leviathan things came and attacked me, and it scared me so bad I had to immediately leave the game. But yeah, that's what this depiction reminds me of, except there are no fish or marine life in the area. With a large lack of sunlight and nutrients, only some bacteria and small crabs have been found to live in volcanic vents on the seafloor. Don't quote me on it, but this could point to growth of land much farther down the line, and I researched it. Yes, volcanic vents can lead to the growth of land masses. Shaw 2017. In his famous fictional work about Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft puts the location of the sunken city of Raleigh, give me if I said that wrong, in the South Pacific Ocean at 47 degrees by 9 degrees south and 126 degrees by 43 west, as compared to 48 by 52 and 123 by 23. Which that's not completely what it is. I'm just trying to read it faster. Very close to Point Nemo. In fact, that's how close. And that image is by Nojon, CC by SA 3.0, Creative Commons licenses via Wikimedia Commons, public domain. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, recorded an incredibly loud sound originating near Point Nemo in 1997. This was wildly mysterious as the place was understood to be completely devoid of life. As analysis did experimental reiterations, the sound was found to be more comparable to a whale call, though much louder and more forceful. Due to the previous fact, H.P. Lovecraft, people went wild with conspiracy theories. Eventually in 2005, the NOAA determined the scientific explanation was not due to marine life nor alien invasion, but rather an occurrence of large icebergs calving off of ice shelves into the sea. That's from Seaver 2023. The ocean. That didn't feel super fast as compared to some of my other writings, but certainly too fast for me to feel like that's a good ending point. So, we're going to talk about this article, Why Does So Much of the Ocean Remain Unexplored and Unprotected? The author starts off with a catchy hook. We have photographed a black hole, landed rovers on Mars, and sent people to the moon, yet we know so little about our own planet. Approximately 20% of the ocean has been discovered, only 7% of the ocean is an NPA, or Marine Protected Area, Nunez 2020. As a society, we've developed this culture to not protect things that we don't take the time to know, and we don't build gratitude for Earth by avoiding a personal relationship with all its creatures and people. A lot of this lack of understanding stems directly from the pressure, figuratively and literally. The deeper you dive, the more pressure pushing down on you, and at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, 7 miles deep, your body is under nearly 1,000 times more pressure than on the surface. Obviously, we have the option to send non-human occupied or remotely operated underwater vehicles, but that technology is still developing every day. Expeditions are expensive, and that acts as a determining factor in how fast we can research. The other part of it is that a lot of places are looking to avoid risk-related studies altogether. They want you to know everything before ever beginning to ask questions. This is a problem because the entire purpose of science is to ask questions to find better solutions. The author then goes on to quote another, since we don't know how all the pieces fit together, setting aside areas where we just say we're leaving these alone is perhaps the safest thing to do, essentially until we are more knowledgeable on how to protect marine life. Nunez 2020. Closing remarks. I would like to state before I close this out that I did have a few other resources that I was looking at throughout this writing, but that as I got more through it, I realized they had the same information as the others. Jacobs 2024 and Seaver 2023 share a lot of the same information, but I felt that each of them had a unique way of presenting those bits of information and ended up using both in creating this writing. The rest is supporting information or bonus, but not specifically tied to Point Nemo. Lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Regardless of what impact you believe you make in the world, it wouldn't be the same without you in it. I'm glad you're here and that you're learning, because I think that's what life's about. If you enjoyed this piece, or maybe you didn't because this isn't a topic you're fond of, check out my other works and consider subscribing for free. Also, all my references will be in the Substack and the Patreon links in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.